It is Thursday Night Football on TSN. Welcome as we get this week started.
If you didn't know, now you know.
Got speed! Got a touchdown!
Wangle's not always downhill, Chris.
Oh, what a catch! What a throw!
The Saskatchewan Roughriders are 1-4, and they are certainly glad to see Darian Durant, the veteran QB, back in the lineup. He has missed the last 2 games with an ankle injury.
There is Bo Levi Mitchell, 31-7-1. That's an .808 winning percentage. He currently sits third in the league in passing with just over 1,500 yards.
Charleston Hughes, 121 games played, 75 sacks, and 20 forced fumbles. The guy wreaks havoc on the opposition.
The Saskatchewan Roughriders really haven't had much to cheer about, but this guy is one guy who can cheer. Naaman Roosevelt, 4th in the league with 544 yards. With Darian Durant coming back, I think he can have a big game today.
We are getting set for that. McMahon Stadium in Calgary, part 2 of our Thursday Night Football doubleheader presented by The Brick. Welcome back inside our studio. Rod Smith, Jock Climby, Matt Dunnigan, and Milt Stiegels. We get set for the Riders coming off their loss, a devastating loss in Montreal last week against a Calgary team that moved into first place in the West, although BC earlier tonight beating Montreal 38-18. So the Lions are 4-2, and that puts them a point ahead right now with Calgary, though, at home against a Saskatchewan team that has been struggling. Matty, just what kind of difference can it make to this Rider team to have the veteran QB Durant back in the lineup?
Oh, the difference in the world. He is what makes that team tick. I believe that it helps in all phases of the football team. 1, confidence. 2, time of possession. Keeps the defense off the football field. He's seen all defenses. He can react to everything. He plays with a lot of confidence. Ball come out quicker. I think it helps every aspect of that football team, and they become better with Darian Durant on the field.
Well, they're definitely happy to have him back because they've been struggling as an offense, but really struggling as a defense. You thought when Chris Jones came over there, he would turn things around. And eventually, maybe he will, but right now, they can't get much done, giving up almost 36 points a game. So they're happy to have Darian Durant back. But if that defense continues playing the way they're playing, he's going to have a game of his life every single game if they want to win against anyone.
My biggest concern is the lack of pressure that they're getting on the quarterback there in Saskatchewan. I think it's hard in this league to win games if you're not getting after the opposition quarterback. That is probably the biggest hardest thing to find is a pass rusher, right? They cut John Chick, right? And who have they got? And they're not getting it done right now. And they got to have to find ways to manufacture pressure. If they can't just beat a guy one-on-one, you better start bringing guys off the edge. You better find ways to get the ball out of the quarterback's hands.
They have, and when they brought pressure, they've been beaten with pressure. They've been beaten down the football field, and we saw it several weeks ago when the kid we just got done watching play, Jonathan Jennings, exploited in the second half. And from that point forward, I think they've looked even more vulnerable because people have gotten a blueprint, say, you know what, we have to be aggressive and take those shots down the football field. And I think quick counts really mess around with the defense too, because you catch them off balance, you catch them out of depth, and then you don't have to block that extra man oftentimes. So people are catching up to it a little bit, and sometimes that does happen, and you got to alter your thought processes.
But with one player I want to see get involved with the Saskatchewan Roughrider offense is Kendall Lawrence. I think he did a great job last year in Edmonton. Right now, they just have him doing returns. I want to see him get more involved in that offense because I think he's a nightmare for any linebacker, or some DBs trying to cover him also.
What about the Stampeders? I mean, we don't talk about them as much because they're winning, and so we just year by year expect them to. Yeah. But, I mean, that was we talked about BC kind of giving it away last week, but good character by Calgary and the confidence of Bo Levi Mitchell driving down and tying it and winning it overtime.
I feel a little badly for them. Jonathan Jennings is getting all the attention because he's the new shiny object that everybody wants to talk about. And here's Bo Levi Mitchell very quietly putting together a stellar career, not just season, but career. And I think it's good for him to be pushed by a guy like Jennings, to have so many great quarterbacking happening. You got Zach Caleros coming back. This is going to do nothing other than elevate his game because you know that he wants to be known as the elite quarterback in the CFL.
You got a guy right up the street, and Mike Riley that pushes him on a regular basis with that inner rivalry right there in the province of Alberta. And so Bo Levi Mitchell, he gets his just due. And he plays with a serious chip on his shoulder, and I love that. And all that guy does is win.
A QB matchup got a whole lot more interesting with Durant back up against Bo Levi Mitchell and the Calgary Stampeders. Kickoff getting closer at McMahon here on the CFL on TSN.
Destined to do more than I imagine and make a movie like I am legend. And when I die, I'll perform in heaven. I am the answer, so now making it is up a question. Put your hands up, put your hands up. Party every day and everybody put your hands up.
Thursday Night Football on TSN is presented by The Brick, saving you more. Deborah Fraser of Regina. You could win the ultimate $25,000 home theater package from Vision Electronics if a kickoff's returned for a touchdown in this game tonight, thanks to Safeway Sobeys Touchdown to Win promotion. And if a second kickoff is returned for a touchdown in this game, you could also win $1 million. Good luck, Deborah, with that. It is Thursday Night Football Part 2. To McMahon, Chris Cuthbert, Glenn Suter.
Thank you, Rod. The first of a home-and-home between Western rivals as the Riders clash with the Stampeders on a green and red night here at McMahon.
Riders leader and franchise player Darian Durant is back after missing a couple of games with an ankle injury. In just over 2 games played, Durant had thrown 6 touchdowns, no interceptions. However, he cannot play defense, and they've struggled on that side of the ball. And one of the reasons that Calgary is favored tonight, led by Bo Levi Mitchell. Overall record is just getting flat out scary now at 31-7-1. And Mitchell has never lost as a starter to the Saskatchewan Roughriders, although he's not faced Darian Durant in those starts.
Dave Dickinson, Stampeders authored that miracle comeback last week against BC, avenging their only loss, extending their unbeaten streak to 4. And on the other sideline, Chris Jones Riders coming off their worst loss of the season, looking for their first road and divisional win of 2016. Calgary's won the last 6 regular meetings. That's Johnny Mark, the former Calgary Dino, kicking it off. And Roy Finch gets nailed at the 30 and the ball popped loose. Calgary does get back on it.
Ivan Brown on the special teams making a statement early for Saskatchewan.
It is first play of the season. Just added to the roster for the Saskatchewan Roughriders.
Oh, they're called wedge busters, and you can see Calgary going with that wedge, and 97 just blows it up.
It's like Anthony Parker got on the football, but he blew it up real good.
What a way to start this game.
Well, if not Parker, Charlie Howard, former Saskatchewan Husky, salvaged it for the Stampeders, who start first down at their 31-yard line. Mitchell going to the air early, got Markway McDaniel, and McDaniel, who only had 2 catches last week, has 10 on his first catch of this game.
Yeah, Markway McDaniel still the leading receiver for the Calgary Stampeders, but ranked 19th and just a pretty quiet night, although Greg Wilson had a big game against the BC Lions a week ago for Calgary.
Otha Foster with the tackle as he moves to defensive halfback for the Roughriders. From the Sam linebacker spot, flipping places with Major Culbert. So 1st and 10 up at the 41. Short drop into the flat, and Markway's got another catch, so he matches last week's totals with 2 catches and about the same yardage at 19.
Tailback Jerome Messam, top 5 rushers in the league. He has the best average at 5.9 yards per carry. Greg Wilson, as I mentioned, big game against the BC Lions, couple touchdowns for him. 2 catches early for Markway McDaniel, and again changes Spencer Wilson out to tackle. We'll watch him up against Jonathan Newsom, Justin Capicotti, and AC Leonard.
Andrew Buckley comes in this short yardage situation, 2nd and 1, and good surge behind the offensive lineup. Flag down on the play. The Roughriders called a few times in short yardage last week against Montreal for lining up offside. Al Bradbury in charge.
Offside, Saskatchewan, number 99. 5-yard penalty, not for first down.
So AC Leonard was offside. They'll move it up 5 and put it at midfield.
And And that same AC Leonard leads that front four in sacks with 3. That's a couple behind Alex Bazzi, who led the league coming into this week. Capicotti on the other side has a couple. There's the change in the linebacking core. Major Colbert in at linebacker. Otha Foster bumped back to the halfback in the back end.
There's the former Rough Rider, Jerome Messam, and his first carry. About 4 for Messam, second in the league in rushing.
Yeah, you see how AC Leonard, the athletic former tight end slot back, can crash down quickly and stop that run to the right from Jerome Messam. When your defensive end can contain, get up the field, and still follow that far, come across from the backside and catch. That's how athletic AC Leonard is, and why Chris Jones wanted to move him to defense. Capable of making plays like that.
Nessa Murpuri, the Canadian defensive tackle, shaken up on the play and getting attention.
A little bit of pressure on that Saskatchewan D line over the last week or so as they look to get more pressure on opposing quarterbacks. Will have to tonight against Bo Levi Mitchell.
Big Laurier product hobbles to the sideline. And so Kalanji Kashama comes in. Little stutter count from Mitchell. Second down, it's complete. Lamar Durant has the catch and another Calgary first down just inside the Rough Rider 45.
Well, you saw the first 2 catches to Marquay McDaniel, and he is right beside Lamar Durant to the right of your screen, and the coverage is drawn to McDaniel. So Durant right in front of Bo Levi Mitchell gets the football when the coverage is sucked over there to Marquay McDaniel.
Another Calgary first down. Back into the hands of Messam. Capicotti's got a grip on him and wrestles him down. Short gain. Give Messam 3 on the play.
Andrew Harris, coming into this week, led the league in rushing yards, and after last night's game continues to lead the league in rushing yards. There's the updated total of yards, but if you look at the top 5 running backs, because there are different numbers of games, etc., you see that big average for Jerome Messam at almost 6 yards per carry. And they established that run early. It helps Bo Levi Mitchell with the play action as the game goes on.
12 touches, 89 yards against BC. Second and long, and the pass caught by Wilson comes back to the football in front of Buddy Jackson. And we'll have another Calgary first down. Impressive opening drive. Rough Riders gave up a touchdown on the first drive last week.
This is what Greg Wilson did against the BC Lions. He started that game running a couple of outs in front of the corner and then went deep after that corner. In this case, it'll be Buddy Jackson. Started to try and tighten up on Wilson.
Did say when you start to burn teams deep, you might get a little more room underneath. 4 first downs for the Stamps in their opening possession. And now they'll swing it to Durant. That's a live football on the lateral, and he is dropped back at the 45 for a big loss on the play. It's a loss of 13.
Matt Dunnigan did a precision playbook on plays just similar to this. I think his was on the flat rope, but for Durant, it's that bubble screen. And even though this is a real short throw, it's a difficult one to make because there's only a small target to throw at, that off shoulder of Durant. He just had a problem connecting there. It was a lateral and a live ball.
Corby Irvin closing quickly. And setting up second and 23. Here's Mitchell, looks for Durant again. Back at the original line of scrimmage, took a pop from Justin Cox and is a little slow to get up after that 17-yard pickup.
And good for Durant to hang on to that because that was a solid hit. I mean, Justin Cox is the rookie, one of 2 in that secondary for the Riders. Kevin Francis, the safety, the other one. The rest of them have some experience, and Cox has been their best player in that back end, and he steps up and makes a hit. Lamar Durant onto that football.
So here's Paredes from 35 yards out of Drew Tate's hold, and he's made 12 straight. And Calgary puts 3 on the board on their first possession of the night. Darian Durant's back, along with veteran Rob Begg. Roughriders get set to go on offense with their veteran at the controls when we come back. Well, he's missed the last 2.5 games, and when they've missed him over the last 4 years, they've missed him.
Yeah, I remember there's a championship in there in 13, and this is the big number right here. When he's been out of the lineup, Darian Durant not available due to the injuries, 7-24. The record.
Excuse me, so it's the first time he's faced Calgary since October 26, 2013. Starts at the Saskatchewan 35 after the field goal. They send pressure. Durant gets it away, taking a deep shot, but out of bounds, incomplete, intended for Naaman Roosevelt.
Well, that will be a question mark. That offensive line up front when you have Thaddeus Coleman moving over to that left tackle spot. Dan Clark is back, but they got Marcus Hall and Josiah St. John at guard. There's a receiving core. Naaman Roosevelt is the #1 receiver for Darian Durant. And here's your O-line. That's the question mark for the Saskatchewan Roughriders. Can they hold up, especially with Durant not at 100%?
Big to get Dan Clark back. 2nd and 10. 4-man rush, time for Durant over the middle, and it's brought down. It's a catch for Ryan Langford, and a first down into Calgary territory.
Ryan Langford reaches out and actually takes this from the defender. That was pretty good coverage across the top from the Calgary Stampeders. Dig route on this 25-yard reception. Durant puts it out front where he's got a chance, almost trying to throw him open, but he comes back and takes his half step back to the ball and just rips that out of the air in front of Deontay Evans.
Big 25-yard play. First down, quick hitter. Dembski's got it. Met immediately by Jamar Wall, but Dembski hangs on, and good first down production against a stingy Calgary defense.
Yeah, they're a good defense. Charleston Hughes is the leader in the sack department. He's got 3. Again, that's a couple behind Alex Bazzi coming in. They get Frank Beltre back in the lineup. He was injured. There's their middle linebacker, Taylor Reed. And the starting secondary, where Tommy Campbell has a couple interceptions, a big one versus BC, and Deontay Evans in the 4th quarter against the Lions had another interception that got that comeback started.
2nd and 1, and the Stampeders defense telling their sidelines it's going to be 3rd down. Let's wait and see where Al Bradbury spots the ball, and it is enough for a Saskatchewan first down.
Early on this season, short yardage was an issue for Saskatchewan. We'll see if they've cleaned that up when they get in their first 3rd and short decision for Chris Jones, but not right here.
Darian Durant, 5-10-1 in his regular season career against Calgary, but against the Stamps, his only 500-yard passing game and his first 400-yard passing game. He'll swing it out, and that one sailed on Durant over the head of Rob Begg, but that was not a lateral, even though it ended up out of bounds anyway. It is an incomplete forward pass.
No, it wasn't, and Durant took that one, and he pointed to himself immediately. He snapped a little bit high from Dan Clark. Again, he's back new in the lineup again after coming off injury, and Durant then rushed it, didn't get the lace, tried to throw it out there quickly before the defense could close on Rob Begg, and that just sailed over his head. Begg looked at him like, whoa, what was that, buddy?
Last in the league in 2nd down conversions. They've converted once. They're offside here, and play is stopped.
We talked about the Saskatchewan defense struggling coming into this game, which is
Offside. Saskatchewan, number 3. 5-yard penalty. Remains 2nd down.
Well, Ricky Collins looked like all 3 receivers to the wide side were offside.
And that's not normal for Chris Jones' run team, whether it's him as a defense coordinator, the head coach last year in Edmonton. But that defense has struggled. Darian Durant will help in that regard. A few first downs, even if they come away with a field goal here or have to punt the football, they've left that defense on the sideline for a while, and Bo Levi Mitchell on his sideline.
2nd and 15, see if they can get into Johnny Mark field goal range. Looks like they might be offside again. Bag behind coverage. It's a touchdown, but again, it looked like Rob Bagg might have been the culprit ahead of the snap. What's the flag? Upstairs that can pick this flag up, but it looked like Bagg was ahead of the snap.
Offside, Calgary, number 93. Penalties declined. Play results in a touchdown.
Now they're calling Calgary offside, and it is a 45-yard touchdown for Rob Bagg, his third of the year.
Well, Rob Bagg is this inside receiver right here, and it looked like he was very close. Now you can be a little bit in that neutral zone as a receiver if you're moving forward, so he doesn't get the call. There's a defensive lineman for Calgary. What a throw by Durant up over the top for the veteran.
He wasn't as offside as Elgard, so it's okay.
Well, they changed the rule for Ray Elgard back in the old days.
And now the Roughriders, after an opening possession touchdown, go for their first two-point convert of the year. Micah Johnson was the man they said was offside for Calgary. That doesn't matter now, and Durant has another flag before this play
Time count violation
gets underway.
Saskatchewan, number 4. 5-yard penalty. Retry the convert.
Not sure if that play call got in late, but they don't get it off in the 20 seconds. And move back to the 8.
Changes the play call a little bit on that wristband for Durant when you're back almost at the 10-yard line, 8-yard line. A little different than being inside the 5.
Probably takes away any threat that Calgary would consider of a run. Here we go. From the pocket. And it is knocked down. Josh Bell unable to squeeze it for the interception, but an unsuccessful two-point convert after an impressive 75-yard touchdown march. Darian Durant back, and he spins a 75-yarder to his old running mate, Rob Bagg, for a Rough Rider touchdown. The CFL on TSN is brought to you by the Nissan Titan, the official vehicle of the Canadian Football League. Beautiful night in Calgary, 21 degrees. Rob Bagg, third touchdown catch of the season. 6 plays, 75 yards for the Rough Riders to take a 6-3 lead. Here's Roy Finch. And Finch gets clinched again. And downfield in a hurry once again, Ivan Brown. Already making an impact on the teams for the Rough Riders.
Go back to that Rob Bagg touchdown. Here's the route by Bagg. Looks like Calgary Stampeders are in a cover 3 deep defense, zone defense. Here's the 3 defenders that are deep. 1, 2, and the third, Brandon Smith, gets caught a little shallow. He doesn't see Bagg coming from the opposite side, layering in behind him. He gets caught looking at the quarterback too long. Doesn't see Bagg. Touchdown, Saskatchewan.
Bo Levi Mitchell gets it into the hands of the speedster, Greg Wilson. Wilson up to the 35-yard line as an 8-yard pickup.
Very close. I know Calgary Stampeders are wondering about that offside. There it is at the top, just a little lean into the neutral zone, and Bagg was very close opposite him. Micah Johnson.
Boy, he got the perfect jump, didn't he? And now Messam with a first down run for the Stampeders. Of course, acquired by Calgary from Saskatchewan near the end of last season. Mitchell 6 for 6 out of the gate. And now swings this. It's pulled off the shoe tops by Messam to keep it alive. The pass to Durant doesn't count as an incompletion because it was a lateral and considered a running play.
Bo Levi Mitchell trying to climb up this list with impressive names on it. Doug Flutie, 21 consecutive games with a touchdown pass. Bo had a couple in his game against the BC Lions. A few in that game, 2 to Greg Wilson. Looking to keep that streak alive tonight.
4 consecutive 300-yard games on a roll here. And a drop. Anthony Parker can't hang on in front of Buddy Jackson. And the punt team will come on.
One of the reasons that Bo Levi Mitchell is as successful as he's been as a starter, 31 wins, is his ability to manage the pocket the way he does. This is set up to be a pocket pass. Watch, he just manages it, bounces outside of contain, looks, waits, got his eyes downfield. Now this is a flat-out drop by Anthony Parker. Won't see that very often. But that pocket management, he's as good as it gets, managing the pocket and passing down.
Maker blasts the punt, 58 yards. Here's Dipsky on the return, and he gets brought down with a thud. Adam Tebow, the tackle on the special team. Naaman Roosevelt off to a tremendous start. Jermaine Franklin will have more on him when we come back. Fourth in the league in receiving, over 1,000 yards in 15 Rider games. Making an impression with more on Naaman Roosevelt. Here's Jermaine Franklin.
Chris, when I asked Darian Durant about Naaman Roosevelt, he practically gushed about how good he is already and the heights he could reach as a receiver in this league. Roosevelt and Darian Durant have a strong relationship. They talk all the time. They sit together in meetings, and they also have a lot of chemistry despite not playing a lot of games together. The simple reason is Roosevelt spent a lot of last season on the practice roster, and while Durant was recovering from injury, they worked together, and they worked together a lot in the offseason in Atlanta.
More yards in 5 games this year than in 10 last year with the Roughriders. One of the emerging stars in this league.
300-yard games already for Naaman Roosevelt. Yeah, he's come as advertised, because I think a lot of people expected after the back half of last year that Roosevelt was an emerging star, and he has delivered so far.
Deep start for the Roughriders. Kendall Lawrence is the running back tonight. Former Eskimo saw spot duty as a running back in Edmonton. 413 yards 2 seasons ago rushing the football. I think Rough Rider fans still waiting to see the Kendall Lawrence that played in Edmonton.
Oh, absolutely. And you know, he's been on the team. He's going to be more in the offense tonight. But he hasn't seen the ball enough to really judge if it's him or if it's just not enough opportunity.
2nd and 7. Good protection. Pass over the middle off the fingertips of Ricky Collins. And it's a 2-and-out.
There's a receiver that is probably real happy that Darian Durant is back in the lineup. When Durant was playing, Ricky Collins way more involved in the offense. Just one catch against Montreal in the big loss last week. Although the entire team struggled in that game.
Josh Bartell, kick into a light breeze, hung up there, 39 yards. Finch on the return, and Justin Cox will wrestle him down. Well, Bo Levi Mitchell needs no introduction on who he is facing tonight. The defensive brain trust of the Roughriders. We asked him about facing Chris Jones.
And when you're a grown man and you kind of go out there and get your ass whooped, there's not many of us that are just going to lay down. You know, you're gonna come back out and want to smack somebody in the mouth. So, you know, we know, especially in conference, I mean, we just know how Chris Jones is. I know we know Chris Jones doesn't like us, and we welcome that.
Talking about that big loss to Montreal a week ago that Chris Jones and the Riders faced. And wanting to overcome tonight. Get rid of that thought.
Big to Messam, and they counter to Rob Cote. And the veteran fullback steps out with a first down.
I mentioned off the top, though, Bo Levi Mitchell has played against Saskatchewan 3 times as a starter in his young career and has not lost to the Saskatchewan Roughriders, although not one of those games was Durant playing. It was Brett Smith for 2, and Kerry Joseph he faced in the 3rd game. Nevertheless, Bo Levi Mitchell has not lost to the Riders, one of 3 teams he hasn't lost to in his career.
14 for Cote. Fake to Messam, has time, got Bakari Grant. It's another Stampeder first down.
Bakari Grant with a couple of touchdowns as he starts to build on that chemistry with his new quarterback in Mitchell. Missed the first couple of games, wasn't on the roster for those, but some injuries got him on, and late chemistry between number 19 and number 81.
So 18 for Grant, 94 yards passing here in the first quarter already for Mitchell. Hands it off to Messam. And he'll plow down around the 15.
This is quite remarkable, really, when you take a look at the numbers. That winning percentage better than anyone in the CFL's history, 31-7-1. But look at the three teams that Bo Levi Mitchell has not lost a game to. Very good Hamilton team over the last few years. Ricky Ray-led Toronto Argonaut team. And as I mentioned, he's beat Saskatchewan 3 times, never facing Durant. So we'll see in that showdown here tonight if he can keep the streak alive.
Stamps into the red zone at 2nd and 5. And Mitchell to the end zone. Touchdown! Parker holds on. And the streak continues for Bo Levi Mitchell.
Boy, did Bo have time to throw this one. I mean, he sat back there, just 3-man pressure, it looks like, from Saskatchewan. A late 4th coming, but no one in the face of the quarterback, allowed to sit there with the throwing lane. And Mitchell to the outside. Anthony Parker, after the drop, comes back strong with a good catch on the outside shoulder on the corner route.
Yeah, that is a bounce back catch for Parker. Now 21 consecutive games with a touchdown for Mitchell. And Paredes, who has missed a convert in each game, makes this one. Final play of the first quarter, and it's pay dirt for the Stampeders. Mitchell into the corner. Parker with the major score. Four-play touchdown drive to wrap up the first quarter. There are the numbers with the Stampeders in the lead.
Yeah, and it looks like as of that first quarter that Darian Durant is going to have to try and keep pace offensively. Still more struggles with the Saskatchewan defense. Wide open Anthony Parker on that corner route and a man-to-man look. And Bo Levi Mitchell, you give him that kind of time, he's going to find his receivers.
It's the 8th time in 21 quarters the Saskatchewan Roughriders have given up 10-plus points in a quarter, and Chris Jones wanted more physicality, more consistency, not seeing it yet.
Well, and he's got to get more pressure on the quarterback, even if he's just going with 4. That time it was a delayed 4th and AC Leonard coming on a little bit of a delayed rush, but basically ended up covering grass, and Mitchell with all kinds of time to find Anthony Parker.
Well, we've had a few shootouts between these two teams in the past. Maybe another one here tonight. Flip sides, Kendall Lawrence back. He'll take the kickoff at the Rough Rider 11. Won't reach the 30-yard line.
Take a look at that touchdown by Anthony Parker, and I'll show you a man concept. There's Parker right there. Now he's going to be covered by Justin Cox, the rookie, and Justin gets caught looking back at the quarterback when he has a man right here to cover in Anthony Parker. If you're looking at the quarterback, you're going to watch him throw a touchdown pass to your man, and that's exactly what Justin Cox did when he got in that chase position. But great protection up front, a late rusher, and AC Leonard down at the bottom of your screen. Basically, that's Leonard just covering grass. You got to either rush or drop. Don't get caught in between.
Riders start at their 27. Quick hitter into the hands of Ricky Collins. Ciante Evans, who had a strong game last week, closing quickly, but a pickup of close to 10.
It's just so typical of Bo Levi Mitchell, though, whenever he needs a big drive, whether it be to answer a scoring drive, Durant hits raw bag, and Mitchell knows there's a sense of urgency. Right back out there, a touchdown drive of his own.
2nd and inches, and Durant plows behind Dan Clark and Josiah St. John for a Rough Rider first down. And now heading to the sidelines. And a different set here. And it is Thad Lee with the football, so he was in that huddle. That was a planned series for the Rough Riders, and it gets snuffed in a hurry. And Durant will check back in and be looking at 2nd and 12.
Interesting play call. I think that's being kind in the description of that one.
That's in the Jordan Lynch playbook that, well, they brought over from Edmonton, I guess.
But sometimes it can be a tendency breaker to try something new, and sometimes it's just maybe overthinking things.
Didn't fool Jagera Davis. It's a second and long. Collins has got it, but he'll be short of the first down as he gets wrestled to the turf again by the Nebraska product, Ciante Evans.
And that was full pressure from Calgary, and had they not lost yards on first down, that's probably enough for the first down on that throw. Durant recognized the blitz coming, got rid of it to Ricky Collins, but Collins 2.5 yards short, 3 yards short because of first down and not having success on that changeup.
Oh, here's Bartel. Finch at the 21 with a little double clutch. Flag comes down, and Finch is dropped after a 46-yard punt. There is a flag on the play. But back to work goes the red-hot Bo Levi Mitchell. And the balanced attack of running game with Jerome Messam stamps with the lead and the football. Well, they are the Green Riders in more ways than one.
Yes, they are. 34 first-year players. That's 24 more than the Calgary Stampeders. And if you believe that the old coach, I can't remember which coach actually said it, but he said that if you have a rookie in your lineup, it's worth one loss. If you believe in that theory, the best the Riders could do is 9-9 this year, based on 9 rookie starters.
That was Milt Steagle's old buddy Cal Murphy, wasn't it?
Was it?
It's an illegal block call on Anthony Parker that pushed the Stampeders back.
Now, in 15 plays on defense so far after the first quarter, Chris Jones has gone with 3-man pressure 6 times and 4 or 5-man pressure 8 times. We're going to keep track of that all game long.
3 for Roy Finch, 2nd and 7. And incomplete for Finch. And a 2-and-out for the Calgary offense.
This is the exotic type of pressure that we're used to seeing from Chris Jones' defenses. Linebacker all the way here, Newsom all the way back around, just trying to confuse the blocking scheme of the offensive line and try and get more pressure and force a rush throw, that is off target to Finch.
Dembski awaits near midfield. Maver under pressure, got it away.
Got a piece of that.
Yeah, it bounced down around the Calgary 45. There'll be a no yards call as Longley throws down Dembski, but terrific field position and almost a block punt by the Roughriders as they turn the heat up on Maver. Shane Herbert came that close. A reminder at halftime, the GMC Precision Playbook suits will tell you how defenders read the quarterback's eyes.
Here's a spoiler alert. It's a bit of a myth. You hear it all the time, but it's a bit of a myth.
But quarterbacks can look off defenders too. Yep.
You can, by the angle of your head, yes, but not necessarily by the eyes.
Best field position start for the Roughriders, the Calgary 39, and Durant looking for Roosevelt. And a great break up there. Terrific defensive play by last week's hero, Tommy Campbell.
Has been the #1 defender for the Calgary Stampeders all season long. Leads them with 2 interceptions. Leads them in defensive plays with 28. Gets another one there with a tremendous knockdown in a trail position on the Riders' #1 target. Great timing with the ball in the air. No interference here. Over the top. And a great knockdown by 25.
Roosevelt taking a knee after this play. Just watch that left arm come up and clip the helmet of Roosevelt prior to the arrival of the ball, and want to see if Chris Jones is going to challenge. They are looking at the tablet on the sidelines, and here comes the challenge flag. And the evidence might be that Roosevelt seemed a little dazed by that. You're not buying what they're selling.
No, I'm not. We'll take another look at all the angles. Here's an angle that you haven't seen yet. Maybe there's something here.
Saskatchewan's challenging the previous play for defensive pass interference. This will be reviewed.
No, absolutely not. That's a great defensive play up over the top, playing the football, and the defender has just as much right to the ball as the offense does. And if there was a little incidental contact while they reached, I think that Naaman Roosevelt was dazed when his head hit the turf. That's an unbelievable play by Tommy Campbell.
Campbell with 2 interceptions already.
After the review by the command center, the ruling on the field stands as an incomplete pass. Second down.
That didn't take long.
No, did not. So the knockdown for Campbell, his 3rd of the year. No reset, 2nd and 10. Without Roosevelt, who went to the sideline. And the pass knocked down there. There's a terrific defensive play. Intended for Ryan Langford and knocked down by Jamar Wall.
Jamar Wall adds another knockdown. Now he's still looking for his first interception. There's the intended target, Ryan Langford, coming on that dig route across the middle. Wall gets stumbled and then has to recover, and he just undercuts this. Playing with great confidence, gets his 6th knockdown, which is the lead in the CFL in that category.
Well, this is interesting. Tyler Carpina onto the DL with a hamstring, and a late add for the Saskatchewan Roughriders. Johnny Mark kicked here with the Dinos, the all-time leading CIS kicker in terms of points. This burst comes from 47 out, and he has missed it. And it hit the upright, so it's a dead ball. And they come away empty. Tough shot.
20th overall pick in 2014. Went back to school for another year. Had by far the distance. And that, just ricochets off the upright. It means it's a dead ball, no point awarded. The hold looks good. On the tee, laces away, hand out of there.
Martell the holder.
Not a lot of wind down there, but it is gusting a little bit. Maybe that pushed it.
So the Rough Riders squander that terrific field position. Back to work go the Stampeders. We'll check down to Messam, and Greg Jones there to snuff that after 4.
Yeah, this will be a fun matchup. Middle linebacker Greg Jones, 240 pounds against the 260 Jerome Messam. There's Messam there. And here's a matchup. Middle linebacker against the run game. Read that guard, slide outside, and then step up. Nice form tackle on the big tailback. Pure run stopper in the middle for Saskatchewan.
Go 2nd and 6. 4-man rush. Mitchell steps up. Flag down. And he throws incomplete. Bakari Grant had curled back.
This is why defensive coordinators are a little reluctant to send
illegal
too
contact
much.
on a receiver. Saskatchewan, number 20. 10-yard penalty, and it will become first down.
That's Otha Foster moving back to that secondary spot. But to send too much pressure on Mitchell because of the way he can avoid it and move around in the pocket.
So the ball moved up to the 39 of Calgary. first down for the Stamps. Handing it off to Finch. Cuts it back into the traffic, and Greg Jones there once again. 6 yards for Finch. Torrey Harrison not in the lineup for Calgary tonight as the backup running back.
Just going to go back to that illegal contact on Otha Foster. Take a look down here. These are the cover guys at the bottom of the screen, and take a look. Hard to see the numbers, but I don't see contact beyond the 5 yards, except for that possible bump as the ball's in the air.
5. A lot of steamboats. And now he'll throw for Mitchell. And he can't make the over-the-shoulder catch. Being tracked by Ivan Brown in an unlikely matchup, but there is a flag.
Corey Irvin is indicating that the guy that was blocking him at the end of it got caught for holding. And that took a long time.
Holding, Calgary, number 64. Penalties decline, comes third down.
Left tackle Derek Dennis. Mitchell sacked 4 times last week.
That's Dennis up at the top of your screen. He's okay here. And after it took this long, there's the around the neck on Kashama, not on Irvin.
Faber punting to Dipsky. 44-yard punt. And again, Adam Tebow down in a hurry to lead the cover team for Calgary. We're midway through the second quarter. Darian Durant comes out looking to erase this 4-point deficit. Went to overtime the first time they met. CFL on TSN continues Saturday. Eskimos, Red Blacks, coverage 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific on TSN 1, 3, and 5. Darian Durant climbing the Rough Rider all-time list as moved past Ken Austin in to second place in all-time completions. Pitching it out here, Kendall Lawrence trying to get a block to get outside, and Deontay Evans will bring him down around the 34-yard line.
Well drawn up and designed play because it outflanks the middle linebacker Taylor Reed, the edge player in this case, immediately. Kendall Lawrence getting involved. There's the edge player. It is that middle linebacker Reed, but the pitch alone gets Lawrence outside and outflanking Reed. And now it's about making a guy miss in the open field.
Rough Riders and Tiger Cats, the only 2 teams without a 100-yard team rushing game this year. Short yardage and a plunge for the first down, and they're up to 15 yards on the ground so far in this first half. It has not been a Rough Rider priority.
13 yards rushing on the night for Saskatchewan tonight. Stephen McAdoo, the offensive coordinator, love to mix in that running game, get some production, and get Durant in more manageable situations.
Play action fake to Matt Walter, wide open. Drop bag has got it in Calgary territory. And Bag with his second big catch fumbles the football, but I think he hit it out last. Let's see, they'll confer. The ball popped loose. Did Calgary touch last? And they did. "49-yard play, but it results at the end in a turnover."
Yeah, let's take a look here because the strip itself is not the last person to touch it. There's the strip punched from behind by Joe Burnett. Now, who's the last to touch it?
It is Evans. Evans hooks it with his right arm out.
That's another big play by Deontay Evans, because I think you're bang on right, Chris. This looks like right there, it's punched out from behind by Burnett, and as they're going down, Evans knows the rules well, only have to be the last guy to touch it. Now, did it hit Bag on the way out? On that second look, it looked like it may have hit his leg.
Calgary football, pass for Messam, spun out by Jeff Knox Jr. Looks like he's getting more defensive reps tonight, but you can see Joe Burnett sizing up the possibility of the strip, and the forced fumble, a big one. Takeaway for that Stampeder defense this year. Third best in the league. Second down. Mitchell setting up the screen. Marco McDaniel has a first down and works his way to the Calgary 44-yard line. Tackled by Justin Cox.
Outstanding execution on the slot back screen by Bo Levi Mitchell. Watch how he waits a 2 count. Here he goes. He's looking like he's going to throw normally. Now, Jeff Knox Jr. is free, but so are other defenders coming at Bo. He's waiting. He backs up, retreats a little bit. That extra count allows Marquay McDaniel open area for a 14-yard gain and moving the chains. Nice execution by Calgary.
Under 5 minutes left here in the first half.
He's outside!
First down, fake to Messam, loads it up, looking for Parker, and off his fingertips. Anthony Parker had a stride or two on the former Stampeder, Buddy Jackson.
Anthony Parker is got to hit this in full gear, full speed, and stick with it. Looked like he slowed a little bit on the outside. Bo Levi Mitchell put it out there for him to run under it. Get some time and play action. And there was just a slight hesitation by Parker. Then he saw the ball. Then he tried to catch up. And by then, it was that close, but too late. In behind coverage by 3-4 yards.
2nd and 10. 3-man rush, a fourth coming, and that pass incomplete. Intended for McDaniel, but not really close. Punt team comes on, 3rd consecutive punt for Calgary.
Well, Calgary, a very good team when they win the turnover battle. They didn't take advantage of that fumble that time. They're going to have to punt it away. But this team in the last 3 years has not lost a game when winning the turnover battle.
How about since 2010? Maver trouble, block, knocked down, and Jeff Knox Jr. gets the block after Maver mishandled.
Well, didn't get...
There's no infraction on the play. This play results first down Saskatchewan.
Flag likely. Was anticipating a possible no yards, but
Jeff Knox Jr. is right there in that 3-point stance, just in front of Otha Foster. And he takes advantage of this, a little bit of a delayed get off there, and then after the drop gives him an extra second. That went right off his face mask.
Well, it came close earlier. He had a big one here. Again, the last time they started on the Calgary side of half, they came away without anything. Durant underneath and broken up by Evans again, intended for Dembski. Boy, there was a lot of talk 2 weeks ago about whether it be Evans or Bennett starting on that corner. And Ciante Evans has just kept making plays since he got the call.
Yeah, it was more about what Ciante Evans did and less about what Fred Bennett wasn't doing, because Bennett was playing okay and is still part of the plan here in Calgary. But Evans was making so many plays in practice. Ron Claybrooks and Dave Dickinson finally said, let's throw him out there and see what happens, and he's done nothing but made plays.
2nd and 10 from the Stamps 34. And the pass is incomplete, wanted bag. And Josh Bell in the area, the safety in coverage.
Tough catch, but one that you expect Rob Bagg to make. Zone defense and Durant trying to thread the needle here. Got both hands on it. In coverage, Josh Bell.
So a 42-yard attempt for Mark. Who misfired from 47. Looking for his first CFL field goal, and there it is. making it a 1-point game. The Calgary Dino puts 3 on the board for Chris Jones' Saskatchewan Roughriders.
Well, they'll take the 3 points, but if they convert on first down, there might have been a major possible. And that throw by Durant that just missed Rob Bagg. I want to show you again Mike Johnson here on this pass rush up the middle. Now he's working on that first pick overall, Josiah St. John, who's having a little bit of trouble in the interior right now. Forces an early throw, a little bit high on Durant as he throws it around that pressure. Bagg can't come up with a tough catch. They'll take the 3, but that would have converted that play.
So the final play before the 3-minute warning. Messam. And he gets 5. Or it'd be Irvin hanging on along with A.C. Leonard. 2nd and 5, Stampeders with the ball. And a 1-point lead at the warning at McMahon.
From the guys back in the studio, getting set for halftime. 3 minutes away, they're going to talk about this game. Earlier, BC by 20 points over the Montreal Alouettes. The precision playbook as well, and more coming up. 3 minutes away. Let's go back to Chris and Glenn in Calgary.
Thanks, Rod. That Lion win puts them point up on Calgary, pending this result. 2nd and 5. Mitchell has an open man, and Mark McDaniel. The first down skips out around midfield. 4th catch in the first half for the veteran McDaniel.
But the second quarter stronger for Saskatchewan defensively. That pass right there adds to, well, 20 yards receiving, 20 yards passing yards for Bo Levi Mitchell in the second quarter. He had 110 in the first quarter.
And a 3-man rush. Mitchell throws. He's got McDaniel again. And a slide down to the 20. Puts Calgary in the score zone.
Throwing lane there for Mitchell, and as we mentioned off the top, you give him time to throw in a lane like this. Watch the accuracy on this post. There's your throwing lane. Now he knows he's got Marquay McDaniel, most reliable receiver, tight spiral, leads him. You can't throw it any better.
Jerome Messam, and McLaughlin there to greet him. Seeing a lot of defensive sets where both Samuel McLaughlin and Jeff Knox Jr. playing together in that defensive set tonight for the Roughriders.
You got to believe that you're going to see more and more of Jeff Knox Jr. defensive starting lineup. Guy that was the Rider nominee in basically all categories last year. In fact, I thought he was discussed as Coach of the Year at one point. He did so much for the team.
Second trip to the red zone for the Stamps, who scored on their first. 2nd down play. Mitchell scrambling, flag down, and the pass skipped into the hands of the target. So holding call against the Stampeders. And Messam taking his time to get up after that.
3-man pressure from Saskatchewan, which we are tracking, will have a total.
Holding, Calgary, number 50. Penalties decline, becomes 3rd down.
Spencer Wilson, who kicked out to right tackle in the absence of both Dan Fetterkyle and Ucambre Williams, who was there last week but turned an ankle in practice this week, causing another change to that offensive line.
Yeah, he was blocking one-on-one on Kashama.
So here's Paredes. 24-yard attempt. Boots that through. So 4-point Calgary lead. Darian Durant has 100 seconds remaining in the first half, and we talked to him about playing behind a young, rebuilding offensive line.
Well, first and foremost, just make sure I get the ball out on time. I mean, don't put those guys in strenuous situations. Don't hold the ball and you know, make them have to block veteran guys like Charleston Hughes for 3, 4, 5 seconds.
So far, sacked once tonight.
Yeah, veteran offensive linemen have trouble blocking Charleston Hughes for 3 to 5 seconds.
See if they can close the gap before it's done. Going for Rob Bagg again. He's got it. And just tripped up by Joe Burnett. But that's the third 30-plus pass play to Bagg in the game. He had 2 coming in. That's a 43-yard pickup.
This time, let's take a look and see if Durant was under duress there. He steps up nicely in the pocket here and drops one over the shoulder of Burnett, who was in chase. And you're right, he just got the top of the shoestrings, or Bagg walks in. There was no one else back there.
So 3 catches for Bagg, 136 yards, and a touchdown. From the Stamps 32, here comes pressure. Durant gets it away, and Bagg couldn't track it. Durant hurried the throw under duress.
And the duress came in the form of number 39, Charleston Hughes. And he's working off the edge here. Nice little inside fake on Kennedy Estelle, and it was pretty much untouched.
Olay. Young former Texas Longhorn just got schooled by one of the great vets, the 9-year Calgary Stampeder defensive end, Charleston Hughes.
Same matchup here.
2nd and 10. 3 receivers near side. Durant throwing, and it's batted down. And number 0 continues to make plays, doesn't he?
They're going to have to go to the other side of the field and stop trying to pick on Ciante Evans, because he's just making plays. That last time, by the way, Kennedy Estelle, he won against Charleston Hughes, went one-on-one in the second and long matchup, and Hughes this time tried to move inside, see if he could go out and around him, and Estelle cuts him off, so he gets him to the ground, gives his quarterback time to throw, but the play made at the back end, again by Ciante Evans.
So here's Johnny Mark from 40 yards out. Looking for his second, and he's got it.
Muscled it through there. They all count.
Don't ask how. It's a 1-point Stampeder lead. Well, for the first time on network television, Game of Thrones coming to CTV. Don't miss the complete first season uncut for 2 weeks only. Weeknights at 10 starting on Monday, August 8th on CTV. One-point game. And based on the way the Riders played last week and the way Dave Dickinson's crew has been playing the last month.
Absolutely.
I think everybody might be surprised.
And last week, how many points scored by Calgary on the BC Lions defense?
Riders have not allowed fewer than 29 in a game. McDaniel's slow to get up after Stamps get 4.
Yeah, little Marquay McDaniel got caught in between the matchup between Greg Jones, the middle linebacker, and Jerome Messam. Almost 500 pounds. There's right behind that post is Greg Jones. Messam's going to get the ball. He steps up, takes on the center, then slides, fills the hole, and somewhere in the mix there, Marquay McDaniel got caught up in that.
Clock running, 2nd and 6. Double foul, Robert. Mitchell stands in, dumps it off, and Messam gets away to midfield. And now Calgary has designs on points before this half is done.
Chris Jones here asks Greg Jones to drop back underneath coverage there. That's why Messam is open in front of him.
17 to the Saskatchewan 54. Mitchell can't find anybody. Now wide open was Bakari Grant, and he can't bring it down. There's a missed opportunity for Mitchell and the Stamps. Wide open.
Moving around, Bo Levi Mitchell knows he's got 3-man pressure, so he finds a lane and gets open, and that's how wide open Bakari Grant was. I mean, nobody around him for 10 yards. Mitchell can't believe it.
16 seconds remaining, trying to get into field goal range. Hits it over the middle. Grant's got this one, and he's got field goal range down to the 24.
Tremendous anticipation on the throw here, because Bakari Grant's going to come out of his break right now in behind that linebacker, and that little window is only open for a split second, but Mitchell anticipated it, put it right there, and they go right back and say, okay, I missed you on that wide open one. I'll get you on the tight window.
A little hesitation. Looked like the Stamps were considering one more play, but Paredes does come out. And Calgary will make sure they have the opportunity to head to the locker room with more points. Straight away, and Paredes money here tonight as he extends his streak to 14 consecutive on the final play of the opening half. Got a good football game. 16-12, Stamps with the lead. Let's join Rod Smith and the boys.
All right, thank you, Chris. Back inside our studio with Jock Climbing, Matt Dunnigan, and Milt Stegall. Close, a 4-point game after that field goal by the Stamps. The first big points for Calgary put up by Anthony Parker, kind of making amends in that first half.
Yeah, you know, I love the psychology of a football player and how they overcome some of those challenges. We just saw Mitchell there miss a wide open guy and then come back right to the same guy and get a field goal out of it. Here, so Anthony Parker dropped us. There's no worse feeling in the world. I can tell you that right now. You're embarrassed. You're flat out embarrassed. You're thinking I'm a professional, and I just had that happen on national television at home. But here he comes back and he scores a touchdown. He's feeling pretty good of himself. I like his reaction right here. I mean, this is just sort of a nonchalant kind of flip the ball into the crowd. And that is a reaction of a guy who's still thinking about the drop. He's happy he just caught that touchdown. He's relieved that he has redeemed himself in the eyes of his teammates and the fans. But in his head, he's still thinking, man, I can't believe I dropped that easy one earlier. That's what football's all about, though, is that you hope you get the chance to redeem yourself, and he did.
Well, a player that he practices against every day, Tommy Campbell, gave one of the best examples how to play bump and run. When guys play bump and run, they do it for one or two reasons. To be physical and stymie a player, or they do it for the reason Tommy Campbell did it. And that's just to get in the player and run with him. And if you notice right here, Tommy, he flips his hip and he runs and he finds the ball. He's not keeping his eye on his receiver. He finds the ball. And he's able to find the ball and jump up with that near hand and knock it down without committing pass interference on the receiver. You're not going to find a better player playing bump and run than that play right there. That was absolutely beautiful. Chris Jones thought he saw some pass interference, but that's the way you play bump and run technique right there. Great job by Tommy Campbell.
Absolutely. Tightly contested football game we got going here, and sometimes it comes down to special teams play. And Saskatchewan's teams, I think, have really flipped the field a couple of times, and Shane Herbert coming off the edge, getting a piece of this one. Doesn't get it all, but gets enough to deflect a Maver punt, and this is what you need, trying to flip the field, and they're going to get good field position. Ultimately, don't capitalize on this, but it's an all effort, and you got to love it because teams do make a big part over the final outcome of many games. And then here, just a bot snap by Maver. He can't handle it. And then Knox, he's right there, and they actually get 3 off of this one with Johnny Mark being 2 out of 3, and they're calling the bullpen, so to speak, for that young kicker from Peterborough, Ontario, coming up big for the Saskatchewan Roughriders in the first half.
Johnny Mark, known in those parts, of course, kicking on that field for years with the Calgary Dinos. Emergency calling with the injury to Tyler Capina. And Saskatchewan very much in it at the half. When we come back, highlights and reaction to BC's big win in Montreal tonight here in Thursday Night Football, presented by The Brick.
Be the more physical team. Take your swings. You understand?
Yeah. Looks like they might be offside again. Bang! Behind coverage. It's a touchdown.
Play your asses off. You run the calls. You play with courage. You kick your ass. We get out of here with a win.
And Mitchell for the end zone. Touchdown.
Kick ass on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
The GMC Precision Playbook, brought to you by GMC. We are professional grade, with Glenn Suter.
We hear it all the time from the top analysts in the game. A free safety reads the eyes of a quarterback and flows to the football. I'm sure in my 23 years as an analyst, I've even said it because it has become so commonplace. But it just isn't true, and it doesn't happen. By alignment, a safety is too far away from the quarterback to even actually see his eyes. In most defenses, the safety lines up between 10 and 15 yards from the line of scrimmage. Some are even deeper. From From that far away, it's impossible to see the eyes of the opponent. You can possibly see the direction the quarterback's face mask is pointing, but a good safety is not putting too much stock in that. What the all-star safeties read is the throwing motion of the quarterback. A fundamentally sound QB will point his off toe to the target. He will point his off shoulder in that same direction. If it's a short route, the off shoulder will dip to the target. If it's a deep route, the off shoulder will point upwards. It may be true that the eyes will never lie, but in reality, safeties can't see the eyes. What the best ones do is read the throwing motion of the quarterback. That gives them a jump on the ball a split second before it leaves the QB's hands. And you know what that means.
Look out here, that one intercepted. It's Eric Fraser with the pick.
Fantasy Football CFL edition presented by Moores. These are the players who finished with the most points in each of the first 6 weeks of the season. Great prizes are available to be won, including Moores gift cards and the grand prize trip to the Grey Cup. Join anytime for your chance to win. This is earlier in Montreal. Lions Al, second quarter, tied at 10. Jonathan Jennings. End zone look here. Manny Arsenault hangs on as he's upended. Little Angry Bird imitation there. Kyrie Zabera didn't like it. 16-10. Kevin Glenn calls his number. Alouettes coming back. First rushing TD in nearly 2 years. They were close, but this is the backbreaker for Montreal. Glenn, the Corbin Laux, makes the catch but quickly coughs it up. And after that, it is Lucius Purifoy taking it 47 yards for the touchdown. And BC never looks back. They go on to take it 38-18. Only one small part of the story here, but big when you look at what Boris Beatty has been doing, struggling. I mean, he was 1 for 2 in this. He had another bad night, their kicker. Deron Carter asked about it afterwards. Couple of things I read on Twitter here. Throw it to me on third down if that's the case. That's what he says about his teammate. Also, I don't think they'd let me drop footballs for 4 or 5 games. It's sounding like Beatty's time in Montreal could be running out.
Well, he was 1 for 2 in field goals, and I only hit an 18-yarder, missed a 38-yarder, and dropped a punt snap, shanked one very badly that cost some points. Listen, all I can say is I hope to get this guy a sports psychologist, and I mean that sincerely. There are people who can help guys like this. He's got way too much talent to simply put on the shelf. He needs to get some professional help. There's a lot of professional football players who don't want to do that. Yeah. There are people out there who can help guys like him in this situation.
That's tough to overcome. You know, he's 7 of 16 right now. He's missed 9 field goals. This is professional football. You don't keep a job doing that in high school. No. And I think they have to make a change there and get this kid some help because it's affected the team. When players start talking about their kicker, you're scared that they're going to use it as their crutch. They can't do that. They got to focus on their own situations and problems. Let Beatty work his out.
What Deron Carter, the way he said it was wrong, but I guarantee you 90% of those guys are thinking the same thing he's thinking right there.
We heard Jim Pop basically saying it, too. They're looking for another kicker right now. They have to. Well, coming up, the Ottawa Red Blacks and the Edmonton Eskimos. Remember that one in week 2? It went to overtime. Ottawa won it. Jason Moss against his old club. We got that one for you. That is coming up Saturday, 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific from Ottawa. We'll have more at the half with the Stamps leading the Riders after this. Stamps lead by 4 at the half. Here's Jock with the Brick halftime stats.
You know, the numbers are pretty similar except the first downs. I mean, they're really dominating in that area as Calgary. Darian Durant showing some rust here. And how about the Queens grad? Raw bag, 3 catches, 136 yards, and a touchdown.
Then there's the Dinos grad, Anthony Parker, who has the lone Stamps touchdown. Here he is with Jermaine Franklin.
Anthony scored the only touchdown of that half for the Stampeders. Can you take us through that play?
You know what? We just tried to get a little bit of a switch release, get it to the point where they would switch coverage on it, and they kind of messed it up. Let me get in behind them, and Bo made a good job reading it, put the ball on me, and was able to keep it in bounds.
Can you talk a little bit about the expectations of this team facing the Riders in this game, knowing how tough a game the Riders had last week and how great a game you guys had last week?
I mean, there's definitely expectations. I think that any time that one team has the record that's better than the other team, there's going to be expectations. Then you add in the fact that we obviously had, quite the outing last time, and, they were on the unfortunate end of a big loss. That just adds that little bit extra for us. But that said, we got to come out here and put a game together and win it.
Thanks for your time.
Thanks a lot.
Where's your Dinos chant? Take it easy on those Queens guys, Milt. There you go.
Jeez, stop being so jealous.
Bag is touchdown to 16-12. Riders trailing by 4. Second half is coming up here on TSN.
getting ready for the second half on a beautiful Thursday night in Calgary. Stampeders with a 4-point lead. Let's go to the sidelines. Jermaine Franklin is with Rob Bagg.
Rob, 3 catches for 136 yards and a touchdown. What does it mean to this team to have Darian Durant back?
He's great. You know, he's obviously, I think he's the best quarterback in the league, but, you know, we got another half of football, so I'm glad he's out on the field with us, and to a man, we all got to be a little bit better.
After a difficult loss last week, how important was it for this team to come out strong, and not only strong, but with the belief you can win?
Well, we always have had that belief, even though we didn't play very well last week. And like I said, we're in a great football game right now against a great team, and I think we're all excited about this opportunity.
Thanks for your time.
Thank you.
Very much in the football game. 4 back of Calgary as we get set to start the second half. The Roughriders will go on offense first.
And we haven't seen a lot, Saskatchewan, from Naaman Roosevelt just yet. I mean, Rob Bagg, the primary target in the first half, but Roosevelt with a couple of
targets, but no catches.
A couple of targets, no catches yet.
So Kendall Lawrence on the return to start the second half. Gets dragged down by William Langloff, and he's a little slow to get up.
But he does make a difference. The franchise player back in the lineup after missing 2 games with an ankle injury. Got things started right out of the gate. And sometimes it's not even about scoring points. It's just about a few first downs and giving your defense a rest. And there were a couple of opportunities actually missed. One fumble by Rob Bagg on a deep ball. Missed opportunity turned into a field goal, but he also made a bunch of catches. So big difference maker for the Riders when Double D's back in there.
4 receivers have caught passes from Durant, who hands it off, and a good run on first down by Kendall Lawrence, wrestled down by Frank Beltre, who returns to the Calgary lineup, but Lawrence has 7.
And I haven't really seen Durant favoring that ankle at all. He's moved around in the pocket. Doesn't look like it's bothering him there. Hasn't really taken off and run yet in this game, but
like a heavier tape job on the left ankle. 2nd and 3. Stay on the ground and get the first down. Not many rushing first downs this year for Saskatchewan. Junior Turner takes down Lawrence, but the chains are moving.
Well, the big guys love it. When you can run the ball and you can move the chains running the ball, they get to fire out and actually be the hammer and not have to sit back and try and pass protect against guys like Charleston Hughes and Micah Johnson. They can just go and hit the first off color they see and drive block it.
Spencer Moore in the backfield. And they go back to Lawrence again. He's got a crease. And Kendall Lawrence is into Stampeder territory. Finally dropped at the Calgary 51. So it's an 18-yard pickup, and that matches the season best for the Roughriders on the ground.
Yeah, off the right side. And that's where Marcus Hall, the Ohio State product, 31 starts for Ohio State. And Kennedy Estelle open up the initial holes, and then Kendall Lawrence makes some good moves in the open field. Broken tackle there, another one coming up.
Curtis Steele had an 18-yard run earlier, but doing it on the ground to start and out of the air and over the middle. Pass is caught, and that's the fullback, Spencer Moore, with his first catch of the season.
Well, he's been ahead of the curve, but the #1 pick overall, who did not go to training camp. We've taken a look at him in that first half, and some good plays. There's one there on Junior Turner, a nice block and doing his job. Now, he had some problems with Micah Johnson on a couple. That was one that he slipped him, but picks up the stunt here nicely. And then a good drive block in the run game, and that's what they love more than anything. So Josiah St. John, pretty good first half.
Forced into action with the injury to Brendan Labatt. Xavier Fulton also out. And this play doesn't get off.
Ryan Langford was 20 yards down the field.
Procedure, Saskatchewan, number 51, 5-yard penalty, remains 2nd down.
Well, they call Marcus Hall for coming out of his stance too, but you're right, that not everybody on the same page on that play. So they put it on the big guy, and Now 2nd and 10. Durant stands in, looks for Begg again, and incomplete. Joe Burnett broke it up as Begg tried to get back to the football. There's a flag down in the offensive backfield. And a Stampeder shaken up as well.
Illegal block, hands to the face, Calgary. That penalty declined. Illegal contact on a receiver, Calgary number 28. That penalty will be accepted. 10 yards, first down.
So a couple to sort out. Brandon Smith with the illegal contact that gives the Roughriders a first down.
The hands to the face was Frank Beltray off the edge on Thaddeus Coleman.
And Micah Johnson to the sidelines after getting attention. He's out for 3 plays. Still conferring at the far sidelines. Not sure what that's about. The officials in first
Correction, it is 2nd down.
Okay, so it's not a first down. It's going to be 2nd and inches.
Right on that far side is Brandon Smith. Will show the Calgary fans that penalty after 5 yards, can't contact, and he held that jam a little bit too long.
Now Durant plunges for the first down. So prior to the penalty, it was 2nd and 10 and about a foot, and after the penalty and the quarterback sneak, a fresh set of downs for Saskatchewan.
Well, the Riders have cleaned up that short yardage issue they've had to start the season. 3 of 7 coming in, below 50%, executing either 2nd or 3rd and real short. And the answer is just get Durant, hustle to the line of scrimmage, and follow the big old lineman.
6 first downs in the first half, 3 on the opening drive of the 3rd quarter. Short drop, the slant pattern is caught, and Roosevelt's got his first of the night and another Rough Rider first down.
Well, and this time now they've gone away from trying to go after Ciante Evans, and that's the outside one-on-one matchup with press coverage from Tommy Campbell. Now, I don't know, maybe pick your poison when you're looking at Devon Claybrook's defensive secondary. It's a pretty good unit. But Ciante Evans in the first half, play after play made by that defensive back, so they're going the other way. There's our Calgary defensive coordinator.
1 catch for Roosevelt tonight, 23 in the previous 3 games. Now a little jump underneath, and Langford gets away. And Ryan Langford will step out at the 16 with another Saskatchewan first down.
Looked like he may have taken a gamble that was going to cost him, bellying back and losing yards here with Jamar Wall closing quickly, but was able to break that tackle from Wall.
2nd catch of the night for Ryan Langford. First trip to the red zone for Saskatchewan.
I'm surprised at all to see blitz here from Claybrooks down in this area.
Going to the wide side, Dembski with Collins blocking, but not going to go down without an effort, but a short gain as really wasn't much available there. Joe Burnett, Josh Bell, and Frank Beltray all in the neighborhood.
There's some pad popping going on, some gang tackling. There's Ciante Evans keeping outside leverage. Again, that's quietly making another play, getting involved in the tackle. Great second effort from Nick Dembski. 2 rivals going at it toe-to-toe right now.
So the 10th play of the drive. 2nd and 8. And again, more pre-snap penalties.
Procedure, Saskatchewan, number 69. 5-yard penalty, remains 2nd down.
Kennedy Estelle.
Number 39 up there, just a little flinch from Charleston Hughes, and he makes sure he lets the official know 69 was the guy there.
Roughriders have had the ball for the first 6 minutes and change of this third quarter. Second and long. Pocket collapses, ball knocked out of his hand, and Durant has to eat it. Back at the 26.
Calgary went with three-man pressure. They dropped 9. Devon Claybrook's defensive coordinator really changes it up. Usually down in this end of the field, you will see full blitz and see if the quarterback can handle it. Not this time, just three-man pressure, but coming around the edge there, Micah Johnson gets that big right hand, the mitt coming across and takes the ball out of the hands of Darian Durant. Had to recover that because they're in field goal range.
Well, here's Johnny Mark from 34 out, and he has 3 field goals on the night. 1-point game once again. Roughriders chew up 7 minutes on the clock, and now Bo Levi Mitchell gets set to go back to work. Just a reminder, the next edition of CFL 30 comes your way on Tuesday evening. Off to Roy Finch, flagging it down around the 8-yard line, and Finch is stopped at the 25. Stampeders with a 1-point lead. Bo Levi Mitchell leads the offense out. We'll be right back to McMahon. Welcome back to McMahon. Would like to say hi to the folks watching south of the border on ESPN2 tonight. Understand they're watching in Plymouth, Michigan. And always a great contingent of Saskatchewan Roughrider fans, green and red.
Yeah, good crowd tonight. Really beautiful night, and reminded every time I come to McMahon that my quest to get tailgating across this country, there's always been tailgating here in Calgary. Do a good job.
Yeah, they know what they're doing here. Here's Mitchell under pressure. Capricotti in pursuit, but Mitchell got away. Can he get away again? Throwing and incomplete. There is a flag down in the secondary, but Mitchell shows you his escapability.
Yes, he does, and it looked like Jerome
Illegal
Messam.
contact on a receiver. Saskatchewan, number 1, 10-yard penalty. First down.
Jerome Messam was signaling to the bench, to Dave Dickinson on the bench in Calgary to throw a challenge flag. The actual call on Buddy Jackson, the opposite side of the field from Messam.
Buddy Jackson, the former Stampeder.
You see extended plays by the quarterback like that, one of two things usually happens. Either a holding call on the O-line or there's some sort of illegal contact on a DB who's scrambling to get to his man.
Dave Dickinson talked about Mitchell extending plays last week with his legs. A big part of the comeback. Here's Lamar Durant, and he gets sandwiched and taken down.
That first half, Chris Jones went three-man pressure 14 of 33 times, so almost half. 4 or 5 man, which is basically stunts, not necessarily blitzes, because there's 5 blockers, 18 of 33 times, and sent full blitz 6 or more players after Bo Levi Mitchell just once in the first half of 33 defensive plays. So right now, Chris Jones is working to try and make Bo Levi Mitchell be patient, put together long drives.
And you hear somebody at the Calgary bench calling timeout. Dave Dickinson didn't like something in that set.
Timeout, Calgary.
You see Dickinson, you can see him hustling in the middle of your screen. Didn't like what he saw from the formation, the personnel grouping, and it didn't match the play.
So they reset. Fake to Messam. Durant out of the backfield, and pass incomplete with flags flying again.
A lot of double moves from the receiving core there for Calgary, and the flags are all in the secondary for Saskatchewan.
It's like Kevin Francis injured on the play as well.
Receivers. Saskatchewan, number 27, 10-yard penalty, first down.
And it is Francis that draws the flag as well.
Well, it looked like Kevin Francis is getting impatient. I mean, he's gone a few games now. That's just a straight hit in the open field on Greg Wilson. And impatient, hasn't made a lot of plays in that back end. Just one tackle in the last 3 games for Francis.
And it is 47, not 27. Aguavin, who is getting attention. So while they work on his left leg, we're going to take a timeout. Stampeders up by 1. And a reminder, the rematch will be a week Saturday. It'll be Tackle Hunger Night at Mosaic, the next food drive. So we alert all the fans in Saskatchewan to support the great cause, Purelator Tackle Hunger Night, August 13th in Regina. So no Aguavin. We've seen a lot of packages with both Aguavin and Knox, who is at the weak side linebacker spot. And the flags start to fly with regularity.
It'll be procedure against Calgary.
Stamps last week, 4 penalties, 29 yards.
Well, they lead the league, fewest penalties.
Procedure, Calgary, number 53, 5-yard penalty, remains first down.
That's Brad Erdos getting his first start at right guard. Even a guy from SFU could draw a flag.
It happens. I remember I had 1 or 2 in my time.
So first and 15. 4 receivers wide side over the middle. The pass caught by McDaniel, upended by Major Colbert.
Yeah, first time we've sort of had a chance to look at that newcomer in the linebacking core, Major Colbert, who if Marquay McDaniel makes a miss here, it's a first down and then some, and maybe even a bigger play, because there's a lot of space here for McDaniel. Just catches this little one and he gets his arms around and his shoulders around. He might be able to pick up 15, 20 yards, but Colbert trips him up, holds him to a 9-yard gain.
6 for 91, McDaniel on the night, looking for his second 100-yard game, and everybody moving, but Pierre Lavertu, the center.
Procedure, Calgary, number 53, 5-yard penalty, remains second down.
Getting in that 3-point stance. And just that little rock. Hand comes up off the ground. That's legal procedure. Back to back.
Go 2nd and 11. Mitchell from the pocket to the wide side of the field. And there's another drop. Second of the game by Parker, who has a touchdown catch, but the frustration shown there on a series that ended with them spinning their tires.
Well, yeah, and it's a type of mistakes that are sort of mental lapses here, because this is where Dave Dickinson gets the offense on the sideline, or maybe Bo Levi Mitchell, and says, look, guys, procedure calls, 2-in-1 series, and then a flat-out drop. I mean, that's just mental.
And a timeout that had to be called.
Exactly. Good point.
Dembski back inside his 10. That's a 54-yard boot. Dembski pushed out just shy of the 20-yard line. Rob Bagg has his 7th career 100-yard game, his biggest game since he was a rookie in 2008. But all he cares about is a win. Down by 1. The World Junior Summer Showcase continues Friday. Canada faces off against Sweden. Action gets underway 1 Eastern, 10 a.m. Pacific across the TSN network with Gord Miller, Craig Button.
Ranked 4th in the CFL coming in, Naaman Roosevelt receiving yards. Just one catch so far tonight, 3 games over 100 yards. Now, one of the reasons for that is he's playing against 2 very good corners, Keontae Evans and Tommy Campbell. But take a look at the projection for Naaman Roosevelt, and you're almost at a 2,000-yard season, which only happened 3 times. Some projected numbers for Roosevelt. You can see Darrell Walker and Darius Bowman for Edmonton. If they keep on their pace, it's a little early for paces, but very interesting. And remember, Terry Greer did it in 16 games, 2 games short of the other 2.
Riders start at their 19. Matt Walter, the former Calgary Dino, with the carry. We talked about Naaman Roosevelt, who reminds Chris Jones of another explosive receiver he has had.
Well, it reminds me a lot of Darrell Walker, quite honestly, because, I mean, if you're not around a guy you don't know and you don't have him necessarily just penciled in at the top of your order, and but he made a play every single practice, or 2 plays every single practice. He's extremely tough. You didn't hear his name being called when it was missed assignments and things like that. When it came time for him to block, he's the guy that's blocking. So, I mean, he's earned everything that he's got.
See if it's time to call his number. It is. Catch is made at the 30. That'd be enough for a first down, and they give him forward progress.
Well, it's been great matchup, and it's been tough slugging for Naaman Roosevelt, the #1 receiver tonight, because of the play of Keontae Evans. I mean, Evans is just flat out made some plays, did in that first half. He's gone a few times against Tommy Campbell and has been open a couple of times and not targeted by Durant because of the big first half of Rob Bagg. So a couple of reasons for the numbers being down a little bit, but lots of football to be played. We'll keep watching that matchup.
Roosevelt apologized on Twitter to Rider fans last week about the poor performance. Hasn't had to apologize for his play this year. In a handoff up the middle. And Kendall Lawrence short yardage. Neither team has stuck to the run tonight. The Riders actually have outrushed the Stampeders.
That's the 6th carry for Kendall Lawrence. 44 yards total in this game. McAdoo trying to sprinkle in a little run game to Lawrence.
Such a good receiver when we saw him in Edmonton. We've seen him used much in that role tonight. Second down to the wide side of the field, and there's Langford, and closing quickly Jamar Wall. And it will be 3rd down.
That's Devon Claybrooks now dictating to the Saskatchewan offense what he wants to see. Get him in 2nd and long, and then make Durant throw it underneath. And as long as you tackle well in the open field, the punt team's got to come out there, and that's what Jamar Wall created with that big tackle.
Third punt of the game for Bartel. Finch settles under this at the 32. And now tries to get the edge. He does. Here's Roy Finch across midfield. It's still going. And finally tracked down from behind. Newsom saves a touchdown, but Roy Finch has the 6th big play return for Calgary this year. A 53-yard punt return.
Tommy Campbell gets a key block here. It's to the left of your screen right there, number 25. Now, just going to see it come late. He gets the big block right here. I believe he was on Greg Newman. That gets Finch to the outside and on the edge. That was a big one from Tommy Campbell.
That sets up Stamps inside the 25. And a handoff to Messam. Rumbling down around the 17 behind Spencer Wilson. Give Messam 6. Eight carries, 37 yards for Messam on the night. See the Stampeders in the red zone, 4th in the league. 11 for 19 on the year. Durant in motion on 2nd and 4. Straight back Mitchell. Looking, McDaniel can't reach it. Gainey in coverage, and it looks like Gainey's been shaken up.
Yeah, it looked like he was hurt when he hit the turf, and he was in flat-out chase. But what the veteran of 5 years did here is, even though he was beat initially, he didn't look back to the ball until the very end of the play. He made sure he caught up to McDaniel first and then took a peek back. But when he landed, it looked like he landed a little awkward. Maybe knocked the wind out of himself the way he's trying to catch his breath there.
The big stop, though, for Saskatchewan after the punt return by Finch to put the Stampeders in scoring position.
See, when you're beat, you gotta catch up first and then look to the ball. I'm just wondering if he landed on that right knee and just got the wind knocked out of him, or worse. Got hit in the spot where he can only talk about it. He can't really indicate where he's injured right now.
You're saying his voice is going to be as high as mine.
Maybe he'll sing in soprano for a second and then be back.
So the field goal team on for Calgary. Gainey.
Nice coverage.
Makes his way to the sidelines. Dave Dickinson has to be happy with the rebound of Rennie Paredes, who has been good tonight and back on target after a shaky start to this season. And puts the 25-yarder through in the final minute of this 3rd quarter to make it a 4-point lead once again.
Well, when you consider what happened last week in Montreal, Saskatchewan Roughriders, very good 3 quarters to bounce back and stay within a possession here against a team who hasn't lost at home all year.
Speaking of Montreal tonight, our congratulations to two of the guys we admire most in this league, both Nick Lewis and Ryan Phillips, playing in their 200th career games.
200 games. I mean, you got to get the gold watch at that point. 200 career pro football games.
And still ticking.
Yeah, absolutely. And Ryan Phillips closing in on 50 career picks.
Riders start at the 35. Pass caught. Nice play by Collins to stretch out and bring that one in for pickup of about 4. That's 4 the hard way.
Darian Durant getting the ball out of there quickly. This play call helps with just the quick throw here on the little curl route.
Could be the final play, 3rd quarter. 2nd and 6. Over the middle, Durant has an open man, and Lakeford has a first down near midfield.
It's just about the veteran understanding the concepts, understanding the defenses, throwing the ball on time.
So the Roughriders with a fresh set of downs on this connection from Darian Durant on the money to Ryan Lakeford. It's Calgary by 4 as we head to quarter 4. We're in for another finish, it would appear, here tonight at McMahon, a 4-point Calgary lead.
Yeah, what a difference that veteran Darian Durant has made for the defense, keeping them fresh, playing better than they have all year. And Durant sacked just one time in just over 2 games when he was playing, and Mitchell Gale sacked 8 times. All the different talk about this new offensive line in front of Darian Durant, but when you're a veteran quarterback, Chris, that gets the ball out on time like Durant's doing, boy, it makes your O-line look that much better.
Well, here we are headed to the 4th quarter, and the Roughriders very much in the football game, but against a team that seems to always find a way at this time of the game to close out. Ball at the Saskatchewan 54. First and 10, Roughriders. And another pass for Rob Bagg. That's twice tonight they've called that play, and Durant's missed his teammate of 9 years.
Yeah, same place on the field, exact same call, and Durant missed him the same way, overthrowing Rob Bagg to the left side on that little swing.
And this time it was no issue with a snap that might have affected the timing.
Big down here, it means field goal range too.
Oh, Durant's got a time count violation. Saskatchewan, number 4, 5-yard penalty. Remains second down.
Looked like he went to try and maybe call a timeout, thought better save that timeout in a close one-possession game like this. Took the time count, puts him in a tougher situation, second and long now, real long.
Last win for the Roughriders here in regular season action back in 2009. A comeback win as Durant hit Chris Getzlaff on a 65-yard bomb late. So second and extras, and Durant is dropped. Taylor Reed gets home.
Taylor Reed is going to get some help from Charleston Hughes as well. It looked like three-man pressure from Calgary. Go ahead and run it, guys. We'll take a look and see who's up there, because Mayo drops out. Reed comes late. He's the fourth guy added in, but it was the closing in from Charleston Hughes on one side and Jaguar Davis on the other.
Well, Bartell has to boot it away. Finch got loose the last time. A 47-yard punt, and Finch works it back across the 30.
Well, you're right. This is about when Bo Levi Mitchell manufactures a drive against the BC Lions. Scored over 20 points in the fourth quarter, 15 after the 3-minute warning. Many of the fans here in Calgary had already left to head home thinking that game was over, and Mitchell found a way.
19 completions tonight. In his last 3 games, he has completed 29 in each. Stamp start at the 32. Anybody open? Now throws for Anthony Parker, who has the catch up around the 41. Jeff Knox Jr. the tackle.
You get the run game going, you've got to respect the fake to this guy, Jerome Messam. That's where the defense will freeze initially on that fake. See, they freeze there, freeze here. Now he gets outside, and Mitchell can just direct traffic. Take a look, wave guys over, wait till one opens up, and Anthony Parker is the target.
So second and about a yard and a half, and they'll plunge ahead and should have it. Andrew Buckley gets the job done and now heads back to the sideline. Mitchell has extended that consecutive game touchdown streak, tying Doug Flutie tonight on the all-time list with his 21st consecutive game with a touchdown. Take the reverse, give it to Messam, and he got tripped up. It looked like he might go for extra yardage, but Otha Foster III just got enough to derail the big freight train.
Well, it was just enough. He stumbled on this one, and this is Messam. When are a defender playing against a big back like this, you just get worn down trying to take him on high, and you can get embarrassed quickly when you try and go low on him because he's got quick feet. Just trips him up.
Got 9, and again, the short yardage team will get a fresh set of downs.
One of the matchups I've been watching here is Buddy Jackson on the short side of the field has been matched up against Greg Wilson and is playing a lot of press, especially on first down. Now, if Dave Dickinson sees enough of that, I'd be surprised at all if he takes a look at that speedster down the sideline on the short side of the field, which right now is the Saskatchewan bench just in front of it. Remember, 2 touchdowns by Wilson against the BC Lions.
3 catches, 118 last week. Just 2 catches so far tonight. Short yardage, mess him again. And tripped up as he crossed midfield by Major Culbert.
Make no mistake, guys like Dave Dickinson, even though they're maybe running the ball on first down to mess him, he's still looking at what kind of matchups he's getting. He's looking at how the defensive secondary is playing for a possible chance at a deep ball.
Messham's 13th touch of the game. He has 72 yards overall, 9 for 40 rushing, and 32 yards receiving.
Buddy Jackson's giving him some room here now, Chris.
Time count violation. Calgary, number 19, 5-yard penalty. Remains second down.
Well, these are big penalties. I mean, 2nd and 5, much different when you're looking at that play sheet than 2nd and 12.
Had to burn a timeout earlier to avoid another. So let's see what they've got on 2nd and 12.
Devon Campbell's in at halfback, too.
Riders send 6. Mitchell stands in. And the ball is intercepted. There is a flag, and that's going to be pass interference. Ball intended for Bakari Grant, and Markway McDaniel pointing the flag out to the Riders who are celebrating.
And Devon Campbell, first of all, on the halfback on the short side field. That's new. Clear interference by Buddy Jackson on this post route.
Defensive pass interference. Saskatchewan, number 1. Ball be spotted at point of foul. Automatic first down.
Switched it up and put Bakari Grant in the matchup with Buddy Jackson. He's going to run the post here, and you'll see the early contact made by Buddy Jackson. Clear pass interference here as he steps up and hits him well before the ball arrives.
So the penalty of 14 yards. Gives Calgary a first down, and on the 7th play of the drive, Mitchell gets loose. Down to the 26, and another Stampeder first down.
Works the clock, keeps the balance of the offense, and how about some patience in the hole from 33. Sometimes it's just power with Messam. He'll lower his pad level and just attack. That time he just bobbed and weaved his way. Some nice moves in the open field and in the hole.
19 and a first down. Messam stays in to block. Mitchell for Grant, and incomplete. He had a step on Devon Campbell.
Gainey still not returned from when he was injured in the end zone. It is Devon Campbell at the halfback spot, and they're going after it right now, trying to take a couple of shots here. Dave Dickinson at that short side of the field with Buddy Jackson and Devon Campbell, and they had him. Bakari Grant had him beat. Just couldn't come up with it at the back of the end zone.
See if they take another shot, 2nd and 10. They're going to swing it out. Here's McDaniel, cuts it back, has the first down. Greg Jones, the tackle, but Markway McDaniel moves the sticks.
That's big. Huge play by Markway McDaniel, because it looked like he was caught in the backfield, or at least for a minimal gain, a couple of yards, because two defenders on the outside have him pinned in there. But a good inside move, and it's Greg Jones that tackles him from behind, but it keeps the chance for a major alive for Calgary and the possibility of making it a two-possession game here.
Second 100-yard game of the year for McDaniel. 7 catches, 102 yards, and back into the red zone. Big to Messam. Buddy Jackson in pursuit, but Mitchell gets away and finds Greg Wilson.
You come on a secondary blitz. The only thing you can't do, well, there's two. There's two things you can't do. You can't jump when the quarterback pump fakes you. And when you come off the edge, you cannot let him outside you. You got no help if you're coming on a secondary blitz. You're the outside perimeter guy. Buddy Jackson takes an inside angle and allows Bo Levi Mitchell to get outside and find a wide open Greg Wilson.
Drive started on the Calgary 32-yard line. Mitchell's gone to the pitch. Andrew Buckley's in on second on the yard. And he's got room for a touchdown. Andrew Buckley. Looking for a first down. He got more. Pater for the Stamps. And Buckley's second touchdown of the season.
Now what a drive by Bo Levi Mitchell and this Calgary offense. This is the kind of drive in a game like this to make it a two-possession game. He manufactures this one, finishes by Buckley, but that's one hurts the Saskatchewan defense. That's the kind that feels like you get kicked right in the solar plexus. Long time-consuming drive, run game involved, pounding the ball, making the throws necessary, and just like that, it's a two-possession ball game.
And Paredes has now missed on a convert attempt in each game this year. Perfect in field goals tonight, but a miss here. It's at a 10-point lead. See if that missed single comes back to haunt them. CFL on TSN is brought to you by GMC. We are professional grade. Terrific drive by the home team here in Calgary, capped by a Calgary product. Andrew Buckley.
Absolute outstanding drive there, though. That's how you write it up. 11 plays, 78 yards. Saskatchewan Roughriders just could not get a stop. See if they have an answer offensively.
Big kickoff by Paredes, and from the goal line, here's Kendall Lawrence cutting it outside. And then back into the 25. And that's where the Roughriders will start. Down by 10, under 7 left. Here at McMahon.
The anatomy of a well-executed drive by Bo Levi Mitchell. 11 plays, 78 yards, I mentioned. It went 6 minutes, 34 seconds, but it was the balance. 5 passing plays, one there to Jerome Messam, but also 5 running plays. Messam now up to 10 carries, 59 yards, which is right on his average. But when Bo Levi Mitchell needs to drive to get separation or find an answer, he brings it. That's how you write it up, right there.
And now Saskatchewan has to respond. Pressure on. Durant dumps it off, and Kendall Lawrence, a short gain, maybe a couple, as Durant avoids the sack.
Yeah, the pocket was collapsing on him, and it was arms flying at that football, so he couldn't really pull the trigger.
Durant's favorite target in the first half was Rob Bagg. Does not have a catch here in the second half. Second and 8. 3-man rush. Still getting some pressure. Underneath it goes, and Bagg has the catch, but he can't get away from Jamar Wall. Actually lost a couple on the play, and it's a 2-and-out.
Yeah, I think that Durant, the way he was looking just to this side of the field a little bit, is that he wanted to go to the outside to Naaman Roosevelt. You see how he looks to the short side there? Roosevelt's well covered again by the corners here in Calgary. Tommy Campbell shutting it down. He has to pull that ball down, doesn't get it to Roosevelt. Has to dump it off.
Just the second 2-and-out of the game for Saskatchewan. Finch at his 38. And he gets upended as he crossed the 45-yard line. Grondin on the tackle. Dylan Grondin out of Windsor. So the Stamps have the football. And after that terrific drive, have the lead. Markway McDaniel prominent again tonight. Thursday Night Football on TSN, presented by The Brick, saving you more. Lions won earlier tonight. Calgary trying to get back ahead in the race for first in the West. Still some work to do with just under 5.5 minutes left. Mitchell looks for McDaniel again. And Markway gets cut down by Justin Cox after his 8th catch. Nets 8.
Chris Jones in 47 defensive plays had only outnumbered blitzed Calgary 3 times up until that last play. This time he loads it up. There was one more on the outside. That was 7-man pressure, and Mitchell had an answer. Quick release outside to Markway McDaniel, his go-to guy tonight. But Chris Jones, you got to believe, is going to start rolling the dice a little bit more defensively. He did on that first down.
Second and 2. Handoff to Durant. First down, Lamar Durant. Dragged down by the middle linebacker, Greg Jones, who has been busy tonight. Now into double digits in tackles with his 10th.
10th tackle. That one a yard beyond the sticks. So Lamar Durant will take it. But he has been sideline to sideline.
Trying to get the ball in the hands of Durant more. Good yards after the catch, and we've seen some rushing ability. Only by Mitchell, 11 yards short of his 5th consecutive 300-yard passing game. They stay on the ground, and Messam plows his way for good first down yardage again, getting 7.
Those tough on the field deserve a truck that's tough on the road. The 2016 GMC Sierra.
So Messam, 11 carries, 66 yards, just about right on the 5.9 yards per carry average he's had all season.
Coming now.
Back into his hands, another first down. He'll get driven back, but gets across the 40.
Those back-to-back plays, Chris. Chris Jones loaded the line of scrimmage, and Messam basically beat the run blitz in both plays, and that's why Greg Jones shaking his head.
Al Bradbury gives the 3-minute warning to the benches. Chris Jones's team down by 10 and running out of time. 2016 Rio Olympics get underway tomorrow. Opening ceremony. Coverage begins 6:30 Eastern, 3:30 Pacific across the TSN network. Good luck to our Canadian athletes who will do us proud in Rio. Darian Durant anxious to get his hands back on the football, but Bo Levi Mitchell and the Stamps been keeping it away from them in the 4th quarter. 1st and 10 at the Roughrider 40-yard line. This time a fake to Messam. A shot downfield and almost intercepted. Intended for Simone Charbonneau-Campo, and Shane Herbert had a shot at the football.
Just flowing to the ball. Herbert playing that safety spot right now for Kevin Francis. Little play action that he's not fooled by, and then he just turns and runs. Really has a crack at it to possibly get that ball right back to Darian Durant.
You surprised by the play call?
A little bit, with the fact that Jerome Messam was running the ball as well as he was, even though the right defensive plays were called to stop the run. He still got a first down.
Fake to Messam. There's Grant. There's another first down. He'll try and stay in bounds. But a fresh set of downs for Calgary as Bakari Grant has another catch.
You know, it looks like Dave Dickinson is just calling a great game, but Bo Levi Mitchell has executed these crucial drives whenever he's needed them, and he's done it all season. In fact, he's done it throughout his career as a starter. And I'll say this about Chris Jones' defense. He loaded the line of scrimmage on those previous two plays a couple of plays ago to stop Messam and couldn't do it. The right defensive calls were made, and Messam beat the defense himself.
And now Mitchell over 300 yards passing, 5th consecutive game. And Messam back on the ground. Greg Jones, another tackle. 5 more for Messam. Messam at 74, and much of the damage on the ground has been done here in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, and if you call a gap cancellation run blitz, which is basically take all the gaps away, stop the run, and you can't do it.
Back to Messam. They can't do it.
There you go.
And he's down around the 1-yard line. The former Rider coming back to hunt his old team.
I mean, that one deep shot was to try and catch him off guard. Didn't work, but other than that, it's been everybody in the park knowing where the ball's going. And boy, it gets demoralizing defensively when you know they're going to run. They're playing tight end sets or double tight at sometimes, and you can't stop them.
It's the way you felt facing Mike Pringle back in the day, huh?
Been there, done that, and it's not fun.
And you knew it was coming. 9th play of another extended Stampeder drive. Why not? Jerome Messam, touchdown. That was his drive, and he capped it.
It's a situation, Chris, and it was the same facing a guy like Pringle. You get in the huddle defensively, you turn to everybody, you're looking at each other in the eyes, and guys, we know what they're going to do. They're going to run the ball to Jerome Messam. Be in your gap, get aggressive, catch him before he gets started, and then he beats you at the line, gets 7, gets a first down, moves the ball methodically down the field. Man, it's tough.
4th
Big
time the
block
Stampeders
there.
have scored over 30. Paredes with Riders scrambling to get off the field, puts it through. And it's the 5th time that Saskatchewan surrendered at least 30.
Back-to-back drives that end in majors, and it's game, set, match. The Calgary Stampeders at home. And all Durant could do in those 2 drives, which have been almost, over 8 minutes.
Too many men. Saskatchewan. Penalties decline. Score the convert.
4 quarters. 4 quarters. That's it.
11 plays. 11 plays, 78 in one drive. 9 plays, 63. Capped off by this touchdown from Messam.
Messam's busiest night of the year, 20 touches, 141 yards combined, 78 on the ground, 63 receiving.
Well, Marquay McDaniel.
What's up, everybody back home? I love you guys. Thanks for watching. Stampeders football. Let's go, baby.
I'm still in camera time because my blocking is miraculous.
You killing it.
Bakari Grant likes his blocking in front of Messam.
Kendall Lawrence on the return, and he gets knifed down.
Messam was the closer. Marquay McDaniel made the plays in the passing game. And the guy who has just pulled the strings and orchestrated all, Bo Levi Mitchell. Durant has all he's been able to do in this fourth quarter is watch from the sideline. I mean, really hasn't gotten that many opportunities.
So Mitch Gale will finish tonight.
Yeah, might as well now, yeah. Good news for Rider fans is that Durant got through the game without any injury issues, but still looking at that defense for some answers.
Gale in some trouble, got it away, and Lawrence can't come up with it. And we saw it on that play, but more in the second half, more heat on Darian Durant as the night wore on, wasn't there?
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, he was throwing the ball on time for the most part all game long and kept that rush off him in the first half. It started to close a little bit on him in the second, but then you get behind and you're starting to look for bigger chunks of field. You got to hold the ball a split second longer.
Gale, Jamar read the mail and almost had a pick six on a pass intended for Dembski.
Yeah, Mitchell Gale thought he heard a whistle blow the play dead or something. Was talking to the official immediately, still is. Here's Dembski. Quick slant. Jamar Wall. He was
Sheldon put it away. Pressure was on, but gets away a high short kick fielded by Finch at midfield with flags flying, but Finch doesn't care about the no yards. He's got more yards than that. And a late flag to Von Campbell taking him down out of bounds to tack onto that. Boy, Roy Finch is one of the fun return men in the league to watch.
And there's a few. Chris Rainey, Brandon Banks, Finch another one. A little slow to get up after Tavon Campbell tackled him from behind out of bounds. That was the second flag.
53-yard return earlier tonight, number 4 in the league in all-purpose yards coming in. And another terrific night for him. These two teams will do it all over again in 9 days at Mosaic.
You know, this could have been a trap game for the Calgary Stampeders, coming off that blockbuster big comeback against the Lions, scoring over 40 points in that one and facing a team that struggled on defense. Chris Jones' group coming off that big loss, and it might have been one of those trap games for Calgary, but you know, even though close in the first half, a one-possession game going into the fourth, and then again, at Calgary, need to drive. I get it.
No yards, Saskatchewan, number 42. That penalty will be declined. Major foul, unnecessary roughness, Saskatchewan, number 26. And Calgary, number 37. Those penalties will offset at the last point of the ball in bounds. First down.
So they added Malik Harris and an extra penalty on Calgary. We didn't detect. We knew there was no yards there.
Here's a chance to see your guy in the return game one more time, and just one of those guys that you gotta hem him in and tackle him with more than one, because I don't think one guy's ever brought him down.
Just talking about the points that Saskatchewan's given up, there's the late hit by Campbell. Now 18 of the last 24 Saskatchewan games where they've allowed at least 30. Messam going to chew up some more yards, maybe have a chance at hitting 100. The Nissan Titan player of the game brought to you by the Nissan Titan, official vehicle of the Canadian Football League.
Honorable mention to Bo Levi Mitchell and to the closer, Jerome Messam. But from start to finish, number one receiver for Calgary was their number one coming in, and over 100 yards, Markway McDaniel. is our player of the game.
Messam on 2nd and 1. He's going to get to 100. Over 100 with that carry. But got hurt at the end of the play. A 14-yard gallop sets up 1st and goal, and Messam at 109 on the night.
Did he fall on the ball at the end of this and get the wind knocked out of him? Because it looked like it. Yeah, I think he did.
Done most of his damage in the 4th quarter. And he'll make his way slowly to the sidelines.
Yeah, I think he got the wind knocked out of him. That's exactly what he was saying.
Just another day at the office for Bo Levi Mitchell.
Look at that winning percentage. Just went up another notch. 32-7-1. Has never lost to the Saskatchewan Roughriders, Toronto Argonauts, or Hamilton Tiger Cats. Take a look at that list. I mean, a better winning percentage out of the gate than Warren Moon. Doug Flutie, his coach.
It's a who's who, for sure. Unofficially, Messam was 74 of his rushing yards in the 4th quarter. So he was the closer tonight. Will play action fake, and Mitchell going to throw that away.
Well, to win, the Calgary Stampeders again inch past the BC Lions, who won just before this game.
Stamps not shy about trying to increase the lead in a season series, and some history between these two teams.
John Hufnagel down on the sideline.
And the field goal unit on to look for 3
Time
more
out.
points.
Calgary.
Well, the Stamps calling a timeout. I'm not sure they have decided what they want to do with 2nd and 9.
We ran a clip earlier, and it was Bo Levi Mitchell basically saying, we know Chris Jones doesn't like us and we don't like them. And a throw to the end zone in the dying seconds with a huge lead.
Guess what? We're going to get another one.
And then a timeout.
Or are we? Mitchell back in. Is he coming back in to take a knee?
And Bo Levi Mitchell stays in the game.
No, I guess he is.
They'll do it again in a week, folks.
No, they're going to go into victory formation. So they will take a 17-point win and not rub any more salt in the wound.
But they did take a shot inside of 20 seconds at a throw to the end zone to add to the lead.
Well, they're going to kick the field goal after all. The field goal unit comes on. They didn't run the time off the clock. And they still don't have the right complement. Charlie Power's got to come on late. Not going to run a fake out of this. There's Paredes, and it is through. 35-15 is the final. And the Stampeders now unbeaten in 5. They go to 4-1-1. Chris Jones' team still looking for a first road win. Dropped to 1-5. They'll do it all again a week Saturday in the rematch. Don't forget, Eskimos Red Blacks this Saturday. So long from McMahon. Sports Center is now